Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever scrolled through Amazon, seeing some products just vanish off the virtual shelves and wondered, how do those sellers consistently find those gold mines? Today, we're doing a deep dive into precisely that the art and, well, the science of product hunting on Amazon. We're pulling directly from Amazon Product Hunting, proven strategies for success to really extract the core strategies. Things like identifying profitable products with, high demand but low competition. Our mission really is to give you a true shortcut to understanding this surprisingly lucrative world.
And what's really exciting about product hunting, I think, isn't just the potential profit. It's that it moves beyond just, guesswork. This deep dive will show you how to apply a systematic, a data-driven approach to uncover those market opportunities and, maybe more importantly, avoid the common pitfalls. It transforms what seems really complex into clear, actionable steps for you.
I love that, transforming complexity into clarity. Okay, so let's jump right into the foundational layer then. Leveraging tools and market insights. The first major strategy, it's all about harnessing these specialized Amazon product research tools. These aren't just fancy software. They're like your digital bloodhounds, right?
Hmm.
Designed to sniff out market trends, size up the competition, calculate potential profitability, that sort of thing. We're talking about the heavy hitters like Helium-10,
Mm-hmm.
with its incredible Cerebro.
Oh, yeah. Cerebro's fantastic for that reverse ASI and lookup.
Exactly. It basically uncovers a competitor's exact keyword strategy.
Yeah.
And then there's Black Box in Helium-10 too, which is more of an idea generator.
Right, filtering through millions of products.
Yeah, based on your specific criteria. Then
Right.
you've got Jungle Scout
Mhm.
with its product database and opportunity finder.
Also very powerful.
And Keepa, which is essential for tracking price history and sales rank over time. AMZ Scout with its product finder and pro expansion. And Seller App, which has product intelligence. Lots of options.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these aren't just, gadgets. They are your eyes and ears into the Amazon marketplace. They offer data-driven insights that would be, frankly, impossible to gather manually. They make complex market analysis accessible.
That makes total sense. And okay, once you're sort of familiar with those tools, the next step is tapping into Amazon's own data, which is just, well, sitting there waiting for you. The source suggests checking Amazon bestsellers for trending categories. That seems obvious, but important. Then there's Amazon movers and shakers to spot the fastest growing products, the ones gaining rank quickly. And for really new stuff, emerging trends, you should definitely explore Amazon's new releases.
Well, it begs the question, right? What better place to find concrete demand signals than directly from Amazon itself? These lists aren't just static data. They're real-time snapshots of consumer behavior, directly reflecting what buyers are purchasing right now. It's incredibly powerful. It's almost like having a direct line to millions of shoppers.
Exactly. But it's not just about what's happening on Amazon, is it? You also need to bring in some external validation. And that's where Google Trends comes in. You can use it to check if a product you're considering is growing or declining in popularity more broadly. And you can even compare seasonal trends like, okay, Christmas decorations obviously peak in Q4, but what about a year-round kitchen gadget? Is it steady? Is it dipping?
What's fascinating here is that blend of internal Amazon data with the external macro trends. Google Trends provides that crucial wider view. It helps ensure you're not just chasing some fleeting platform-specific trend, but something with, sustainable broader interest. Beyond just Amazon's walls, it's how you ensure you're riding a wave, not just a tiny ripple.
Right, riding the wave. I like that. So with all that data now, hopefully at your fingertips, the real artistry begins. How do you sift through it? How do you pinpoint that perfect low competition niche? This moves us to strategic product selection. And the source gives some pretty clear criteria here. Look for products with fewer than 200, 300 reviews on the first page of search results. That's a common benchmark.
Yeah, it suggests the competition isn't too entrenched yet.
Right. And you definitely want to avoid markets already dominated by the big brands, your Apples, your Sonys. You'll just get lost. Crucially, target long-tail keywords. Can you explain maybe why portable blender for smoothies is so much better than just blender?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's really key to finding your specific corner of the market. Long-tail keywords like portable blender for smoothies, they indicate much more specific buyer intent. Someone searching for that knows exactly what they want, so they're likely a high-conversion prospect. You're not just battling for generic traffic like with Blender. You're attracting a pre-qualified customer who's probably ready to buy. It lets you stand out, where the larger players, they often overlook these more specific terms.
I see. Much more targeted. Okay, so you found that niche. But all this insight and strategy, well, It means nothing if the numbers don't add up, right?
Yeah.
Let's crunch the critical figures. Profit margins. This is absolutely crucial. You should be aiming for at least a 25–30% profit margin. And that's, after all, Amazon fees, advertising costs, shipping,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything, yeah.
A key part of this is calculating those FBA fees accurately. Using Amazon's own revenue calculator is a must. FBA fees, for anyone unsure, those are the costs Amazon charges you for storing, packing, and shipping your products once they sell under the Fulfilled by Amazon program. And a practical tip from the source: avoid really heavy or bulky items. Those shipping costs will just eat your profit alive.
Well, this brings up a crucial consideration, doesn't it? If your margins are thin from the very start, how are you going to absorb unexpected costs? Or invest in growth, like more advertising? Understanding FBA fees isn't just negotiable, it's the non-negotiable bedrock of your financial viability. Overlooking them is such a common pitfall. It can sink a new product before it even gets, properly launched.
Absolutely. And okay, before your product even gets to Amazon, you need to sort out your supplier costs and sourcing. The source recommends looking for products from places like Alibaba, maybe 1688 if you can navigate it, or even finding private suppliers directly. But it's absolutely non-negotiable. Order samples first. Check the quality before you commit to a bulk purchase. I actually knew a seller once who got really excited, skipped the sample check on a big order of yoga mats.
Oh, no.
Yeah, ended up with like 1,000 units of faulty mats. It just underscores why that sample is so vital. And don't forget to negotiate on MOQ. That's the minimum order quantity and the pricing. Every single penny counts here.
The broader implication of this really is that your product success starts long before it even hits Amazon's warehouses. It begins with establishing that reliable, cost-effective, and crucially, quality-conscious supplier relationship. This foundational step dictates so much of your product's future performance and ultimately your customer satisfaction.
Okay, now this next point is absolutely critical and, I think, often overlooked by beginners. Avoiding legal and intellectual property risks. This stuff can truly sink your business before it even starts. The source has specific warnings. Avoid restricted categories. Things like certain supplements or electronics that need special certifications. Do your homework there.
Huge potential pitfalls there.
Definitely. Always check for existing patents or trademarks using uspto.gov. That's the official U.S. Patent and Trademark Office website. You have to check. And never, ever, ever sell counterfeit or branded items without proper authorization. It sounds obvious, but people try it.
And neglecting these risks isn't just, bad business. It can lead to severe legal repercussions, immediate account suspension, irreversible damage to your whole venture. It's an area where due diligence isn't just recommended, it's paramount for long-term viability and, frankly, your peace of mind.
Couldn't agree more. So, okay, let's say you've found a promising product, you've checked the numbers, checked the legal stuff. How do you really make it stand out from the crowd? That's where differentiation comes in, especially through things like upsell and bundle opportunities. Think about finding complementary products like pairing a phone case with a screen protector. Simple, but effective.
That's value, right.
Exactly. Or creating truly unique bundles, maybe a yoga mat package with a nice set of resistance bands, something competitors aren't doing.
Yeah, and bundling isn't just about selling more units, though it does that. It adds significant perceived value for the customer. It solves a broader problem or fulfills a more complete need, which can notably boost your average order value, makes each sale more profitable.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Spying on competitors. Ethically, of course. The source suggests using tools like Helium 10's X-Ray or Jungle Scout's extension to literally see competitors' sales data. Estimates, usually, but very informative.
Gives you a baseline.
Right. But it's not just about sales numbers. You should also dive deep into their customer reviews. If customers are constantly complaining about something, a weak handle, bad instructions, whatever, that's your golden opportunity to improve where they fail. What's the most maybe surprising thing you've seen a seller learn from digging into a competitor's bad reviews?
Oh, that's a great point, because it really highlights how competitor analysis goes beyond just seeing their numbers. It's about uncovering those pain points. I've seen sellers discover, for instance, that a competitor's product often broke after just a few uses, or maybe that a really common accessory people wanted was missing. By identifying those flaws, they could then launch a more durable version or include that missing piece in their own offer. They instantly position themselves as a superior alternative, often without having to reinvent the entire wheel. It's about refinement and smart innovation, not just blind imitation.
That's fascinating. So it's not just what they sell, but what their customers are telling us about their weaknesses. Brilliant. And finally, a crucial step before you go all in, testing before scaling. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket right away, do you?
Definitely not. Too risky.
The advice is pretty clear. Start with a small order, say maybe 100 to 500 units, just to validate that initial demand. Then run some Amazon PPC campaigns. That's pay-per-click advertising directly on Amazon. You bid on keywords to get your product seen. Use those campaigns to test your conversion rates. Are people actually clicking and buying? Only if the product performs well in that small test phase should you scale up your inventory orders.
What's really illuminating here is the emphasis on minimizing risk through that iterative testing. It's all about making data-driven decisions, not just, jumping into the deep end without knowing if the water's warm or freezing. This cautious approach can save you a significant amount of capital and probably a lot of heartache, too. It lets you pivot quickly if the market isn't responding the way you expected.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, we've got a couple of bonus insights before we wrap up today's deep dive. The source differentiates between seasonal and evergreen products. Seems important to understand. Seasonal, of course, would be things like Halloween costumes or Christmas lights. Huge demand, but very short-lived.
Big peaks and valleys.
Exactly. Whereas evergreen products are your year-round sellers. Things like maybe kitchen gadgets or fitness gear, stuff people buy all the time.
And understanding this distinction is absolutely key because each type requires a dramatically different strategy. Especially for inventory management and marketing, you certainly don't want to be stuck with a warehouse full of Christmas lights come January. It's all about aligning your supply chain with those demand cycles.
Good point. So what does all this mean for you, the aspiring or maybe current Amazon seller? The final tip from the source is golden, I think. Always validate a product using multiple methods before you invest heavily. Don't rely on just one tool or one piece of data. The best products consistently seem to have three core characteristics: steady demand, low competition, and good profit margins. Wow, we've truly covered so much ground today. From digging into Amazon's own data and leveraging those sophisticated tools to safeguard your business from legal pitfalls and intelligently testing your ideas before scaling, it has really been a deep dive into finding those winning products in the sometimes confusing Amazon marketplace.
Indeed. And I think the core message is that success in this really dynamic marketplace isn't about guesswork. It's not about luck. It's about a systematic, data-informed approach. It emphasizes patience, continuous learning, and that thorough validation at every single step. It's definitely a journey of discovery, but one that rewards preparation and persistence.
Absolutely. So, let's leave you with a final thought today. If finding a winning product on Amazon requires such a multifaceted approach, validating demand, assessing competition, calculating margins, testing small before scaling, how might this multiple methods validation philosophy be applied to other significant decisions in your own life or endeavors? Where else could you benefit from such a thorough, low-risk testing approach before making a big investment of your time, your energy, or your resources? Something to think about.